when we talk about budget, I don't think people should be thinking I should be spending more on loyalty. The question is, how much can I spend on loyalty, and how can I make that spend most effective? Because what we're seeing in the loyalty industry is, if you take the cost of rewards, that is what you can afford. But actually, the cost of technology in all sectors is coming down, and in the loyalty sector has come down significantly over the last few years. So it's really then saying, how can I use my budget most effectively? And as we talked about before, I'm not necessarily certain it's going to be in spending more on the customer reward. That has to be a reflection of all the other things. So I'd be saying, how can I make my money that I'm spending on loyalty go furthest by wringing as much value? And that's by looking at the customer journey, by looking at all of those things you talked about. Where I'd spend, and then when you consider the customer proposition, I think in 2023 is going to be a focus on retention because of the areas we face. So I would be considering how to retain my customers and how to make the most of the customers I already have access to, or have their contact details.
Actually, in Turkey, investment have been made in data systems and mobile applications since years. As you know, Turkey has a high rate on technology adoption and integration. The economic crisis not only affects the purchasing power, it negatively affects also the marketing and technology budgets. So in 2023, at the technology side, the investment will focus on machine learning and data analytics tool, which will support predictive analytics. At business side, with the serious increase of digital marketing cost of acquiring new customer, brands will focus on spending their limited budgets for retaining existing customers. Retaining the loyalty members will be the key in 2023. In past years, many of loyalty programs reach a certain saturation depending on the acquisition of new customers and relatively members. However, with the decrease in purchasing power of the consumer, it will be important to retain the price-sensitive existing customer rather than gaining the new members.
Well, in any type of uncertain economic situation, you want to be focused on retaining customers and capturing higher share of wallet from your existing customer base, because as people have talked about for 20 years, it's 7 times cheaper to retain a customer than to acquire a new one. And I think people generally believe that. And if it's not 7 times, it's at least 3 or 4 times. And therefore, retaining customers and extracting more revenue from your existing customer base is what companies will focus on in a challenging economic situation. We'll continue to see growth in loyalty program participation. I think there will be recruitment drives, but instead of direct marketing through digital channels, I think we're going to see a lot more new customer acquisition via partners. So for example, if a large airline partners with a hotel group, then they'll try to get some of the hotel group members that are not yet members of the airline loyalty program to join the airline program. And that'll be a relatively low cost method of new customer acquisition. But the majority of focus will be on maximizing share of wallet from existing customers.
We see budgets increasing almost everywhere, right? That's sort of the easy one. The focus, there's a lot of talk, about blockchain and AI and all these things. But I don't see it happening in a big scale the next year or two. I think the short-term focus we see that they have is making the program more relevant, right? So there are sort of 2 blocks in this. There's the ones who use the increased budget to upgrade their technology. So they have been running for 15 years. They have a technology that's not really up to par. So they will search out partners who can do that, right? We would like to upgrade our technology. We have had clients like that. Then there are the other ones who already have the technology, and they are thinking more down the road. They are thinking, how can we reduce the cost of redemption for, take in partners who are funding, do cooperations with banks to fund. It's actually trying to enable a better reward proposition for the consumer, but having a sponsor underneath, right? Because they can't, out of their own profit margin, do that. So, but from talks on, if we look at let's say 24, 25, I think that a lot of people want more proactive systems, and you can either call that predictive or you can call it AI, right? But they want systems that are proactive instead of systems that are reactive, right? So they would like the system to come out and say, hey, Peter, Peter is a prime candidate for a co-brand card because he has this behavior in the system, right? So I think they're looking for that. I think that's the next bit. If we're looking at sort of the realistic, and then there's all these wild things, but I'm more of a realist in saying in the next 2 years it's probably going to be the more one thing I've actually seen we didn't talk about on the budgets is that the demand for an ROI, they have a shorter horizon. So where you used to have 3 years, now it's 18 months ish, right? So that also takes away from these more exotic investments right now. They will definitely focus on retention. I think they have all learned the hard way during COVID that getting new customers is extremely expensive compared to retaining the new ones, right? So everybody we talk to is about improving the current member proposition, which is a retention action, right? So they are looking to make it better for the customers. They're looking to retain them. They are also looking to be better at using the data they have for the same reason, right? So I definitely see retention as the key. We have a few clients who are more aggressive on the acquisition side, but it's rare. So it is, I would say it's retention.
I do strongly believe that the investment in a more modern, contemporary, future-proof loyalty technology will continue to be one of the topmost investment priorities for the brands going into 2023. I feel that there are three constituencies of the customers that would look to invest in loyalty technology with the sense of urgency. There are still large number of loyalty programs in the world that run on legacy technologies, and these are highly customized over a period of time. These are expensive to maintain and not quite geared for rapid innovation. These technologies were built to support, as I mentioned earlier, terms and conditions driven transactional loyalty programs. And that whole constituency is ready to embark on the newer technology to benefit from the new capabilities that the more modern technologies bring to bear, and in order to deliver on their loyalty program objectives. The second constituency is of loyalty programs that use technologies that you cannot technically call legacy, but these are on-premise platforms that are pretty fat, so to say. They require a huge managed IT services. They are not quite adept in terms of speed to market, in terms of greater program innovation, in terms of delivering customer experiences. And I think those loyalty programs will also look to embarking on something that gives them that agility and competitive advantage. And the third constituency will be of those loyalty programs that are looking to evolve and transform their current proprietary brand-based loyalty program model into a more modern, lifestyle-oriented digital ecosystems. I think these three constituencies would definitely see an urgent need to invest in more modern technology. Which ones that they would invest? I would say that some of the personalization capabilities or some of the modern AI-based capabilities that deliver one-to-one individualization, some of those would be strong drivers to kind of motivate that investment. And why this investment, even though we are all talking about a possible slowing of economy or a possible recession, I do still feel that these investments will have incremental ROI over a period of time. So in effect, these investments will work out a lot more cost effective over a period of time if you take into account the return on investment that the new technology would enable them to achieve. The answer to these questions may vary from client to client and industry to industry. But if I were to give a more generalized answer, I would say that majority of the customers would maintain, if not increase, their investment in their loyalty programs. As their programs mature, there is a need for them to continue to make sure that the programs deliver on consumer expectations. So I would definitely think that the investment will either stay flat or they will increase of the existing clients. The key priority of a loyalty program or the key metrics that loyalty programs pursue, they evolve over a period of time as the programs mature. So for example, if the program is brand new program that started, in less than 12 months back, obviously one of the key KPIs or the objectives they would be chasing is to maximize their customer acquisition potential, because as they have more customers, their ability to learn about their customers, their ability to build a data foundation is directly proportional to the magnitude of customers they have. So those programs will look to focus on acquisition, but all the programs would look to make sure that more and more customers are retained. One of the major issues with the loyalty programs have been that the percentage of active customers is always a worry. And, depending on the industry we talk about, they may vary from, single digit active per customers to 30-35%. And I think there is a strong merit and a strong argument for loyalty programs to look at maximizing retention, maximizing engagement, and maximizing the ability to leverage the loyal customers so as to be able to reduce their marketing expenses and drive word of mouth advocacy and drive low cost acquisition, leveraging their own customers. So I think that will definitely be a priority across all the loyalty programs, but those which are brand new loyalty programs will also focus on acquisition.